This is Pastor Gail. Welcome to another weekly edition of our St. Andrew Facebook devotions. So when our children were younger, we had them enrolled in an at-home child care provider. She was wonderful, and she loved to do special events with the kids. She lived near where I worked, so one summer day we decided that we would meet for lunch. It would be at a park convenient to them and to me, and it would be fun. I packed some special treats, and so did she. Now, my children were not the only ones in her care. There were others, including her own daughter, which sometimes made for some really interesting and good learning opportunities for all of us. When the provider arrived at the park with the kids, her daughter was riding in the front seat. We could do that back then. The others had taken their place in the back seat. What I didn't know at the time was that the provider had negotiated with her daughter that she would ride in the front on the way over and promised our son that he could ride in the front on the way back home. We had a great lunch and we had some fun in the park, but soon it was time for all of us to leave. When we got into the car, suddenly my son broke into tears. I didn't know what was wrong, but he was looking at the front seat. It was occupied by the child care provider's daughter. And then the words came out of his mouth, "But you promised." The provider explained what happened, and she handled it well, but after I left, those words from my son kept going through my head. "But you promised." How many times do we make promises that we fully intend to keep, but for whatever reason, our ability to keep them is compromised? Sometimes the consequences are small and life just goes on, but not always. Broken promises can leave us hurt, disappointed, and like my son, even in tears, saying, "But you promised." God has promised to love us, always and unconditionally, and that is a promise that God will never break. At the same time, God doesn't promise to stop hard things or bad things from happening in our lives. Instead, God promises to never leave us or forsake us. God is with us when the world disappoints us and when we disappoint others. God is always loving us through it, helping us grow in faith and love along the way. That's a promise that I know I can always count on, and you can count on too. Have a great week.